What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from the oversized setup we've got today, we are going to be unboxing and reviewing another new laser cutter, laser engraver from Creality. So this model in particular is the Falcon 2 22 watt laser engraver. Now on this channel, laser engraving of course is still a new hobby for me. And we've only unboxed one other laser engraver on this channel before, and that was the Acer 32 watt laser engraver. So looking at this model from Creality, it is not as powerful of a laser engraver as the Acer one, but it still has its own features and capabilities of its own. So today we are going to unbox this, review it, and see how this compares. Stay tuned. Okay, so like I mentioned previously, this is Creality's entry into the laser engraving and laser cutting market. So this Falcon 2 has a 22 watt strong power laser built in, and it can cut up to 15 millimeters of wood with one pass. It's also got the ability to color engrave on objects, which is pretty nice. I'm excited to see what that's all about. And then it's also got a laser engraving speed of up to 25,000 millimeters per minute, which of course is still pretty fast. It also has a built-in integrated air assist, so that just helps to make your engravings and cuttings a lot more accurate and a lot better quality. It's got triple monitoring systems to make sure from a safety standpoint that this printer is safe. And then it also has the ability to cut through 0.05 millimeters of stainless steel sheets with one pass as well. Now I'm not sure we're going to be able to test all of those features and functionalities, but we definitely are going to try. Now, although I am doing the unboxing here in my studio, I did learn from my previous unboxing videos that you should use these devices in a space that has a lot of open area, because these do produce a lot of smoke and a lot of dust. So you want to make sure that you are using these in an area that has a lot of open space. So once we do the unboxing, we will move to probably my garage to test this thing out. Okay, so as usual, let's start by unboxing this to see what we get. Now based on the specs or based on the instructions, this thing should come fully assembled, which is a lot nicer of a setup than the previous laser engraver that I reviewed, which we had to assemble ourselves, which had some challenges of its own. So hopefully, and if this thing is shipped fully assembled, that will make our life just a lot easier. Okay, so again, if you look at the packaging, it does come packed pretty nicely with, again, foam inserts, and that just keeps the hardware from moving around during shipping. It also protects it from any bangs or crashes that might damage the equipment itself. So your typical standard packaging material to keep the product safe. Okay, so you do get, I guess this is an operations guide with looks like a flow chart of how everything should be set up and used, so it's pretty nice to have. Operation guide has the Creality mascot, so yeah, that. And in typical Creality fashion, you do get the Creality mascot stickers, which is always pretty nice to have. You can stick these everywhere. So this does come with a rotary roller, apparently, which is something that's pretty unique and nice about this. So the rotary roller allows you to roll, let's say you have a long piece of wood you want to engrave, it allows you to roll it through the printer. So that is a nice accessory and inclusion that comes with this laser engraver. So definitely something that's very nice and unique about this. You also get the quick guide, so I guess this is a quick user guide. Different types of material that you can engrave or cut, which is also nice. So let's see what types of material we've got. Different types of plywood, looks like. So different colored cardboard material, I want to say. At least that's what they feel like. Different types of foam material that feel like, fiber cloth. So yeah, pretty nice that they send you some material to at least start printing with. So we will definitely be using these. Oh wow, and again, some more material. So these are different kinds of material here as well. And this one's a lot heavier than the previous one. So this one comes with, again, more types of plywood of different sizes. Thick steel plate as well. So that's pretty cool. Looks like a brush, USB-C to USB-A cable. And these are, so it looks like a measuring guide. We'll find out what that actually is in a minute. But yeah, so it looks like you do get a variety of materials to test out and print on with the packaging as well. Okay, so let's see what components are in this. So this looks like it's your tools. So you've got your different type of Allen wrenches, you've got tweezers, you've got your safety key, you've got your wrench, you've got your USB key with a mini SD card, you've got your USB-C to USB-A, got some screws, a little wipe cloth, and looks like a little clear lens of some sort as well. So yeah, this looks like your standard toolkit, which is nicely packed. I like this little toolkit that comes with it. Next, let's see. This looks like, okay, so this actually might be the air assist. Okay, you get your power brick, power cable that connects to your power brick. Safety glasses, which is very important for these laser engravers because they do produce a lot of light. This looks like the laser itself. So this is the 22-watt laser. And again, the roller with a bunch of different little cables and more rollers, I guess. We'll see what all these parts do. This looks like the extension feet to raise the laser engraver base for larger objects. So you do have these little feet that you can screw to the bottom of the base to raise the laser engraver up a little bit more. So that's nice to have. Oh, it looks like this comes with a filter. I believe this is a filter at least. And then you've got the steel plate. And then you've got the base unit itself. Okay, so unlike the site mentioned, this thing does not come fully assembled. I'd say the frame comes fully assembled, but there are parts that you need to assemble on your own as well. So let's go through the instructions and see what we need to assemble and what we need to put together to get this thing set up. Okay, so first things first, we need to install the razor stands first. So we'll just put this sideways. And you can put these legs in 3 different locations on the base itself. So I'm just going to put it to the outer portion. Okay, so it does look like it also comes with these additional razor stands. So you can raise it 2 more pegs. So there are 8 of these, so 2 for each of the corners. But this allows you to raise this machine even higher by adding on to the stands themselves. And that's just in case you have larger blocks of wood or metal that you want to engrave. Okay, so that's what these are. Okay, next we need to connect the machine to the air assist. The air pump is what they're calling it. So to do that, all you need to do is take the existing cable and let's just run it over the laser, and then you unplug the rubber plug in the air nozzle of the air pump, which is right here at the tip. Now what I like about this air assist module is that it's got these little rubber feet on the bottom that move, so if there is a lot of vibration, it just sits here and jiggles with the table itself or the surface that you've got on this. So technically it stays stable, and those rubber feet do stick pretty well, so it won't move at all. Now what we do with this is probably just going to be an extra component that I'll keep to the side. Okay, and then you unwind this cable, and then you plug this into the side of the printer itself, or the laser engraver itself. And I think it should fit only one way. So once it's plugged in, of course you feed it over because you also don't want it to get in the way of the laser itself. And you put this on the outside of the machine. Okay, once the air assist is set up, we are going to install the laser module. So the laser module comes securely packaged, and of course it's got a warning sticker on it to read the security statement manual carefully, because again, you are dealing with a laser, which can be a very dangerous device. Okay, and then for these, I typically just slide it in. We'll loosen the thumb screws. And I'm not sure if we're supposed to drop it all the way or just halfway. Now, I'm not sure if this is a self-leveling system or not, but that's something we'll find out. But for the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move it all the way to the end at least, so it lines up at the top. And then we'll see if it self-levels a little later. Okay, so then you connect this piece, the cable end, to the adapter board, and it should only fit one way, I believe. Yep, fits one way. And all these laser devices don't give you much room to work with. And then you can use these clips on the device itself to secure the cables. So there is good cable management built into this thing, which is always a plus. Which the tube you then plug into the top of the laser itself. And you just push it in until it can't go any further. And then same thing for this cable itself. It comes with Velcro straps, which is nice, and I'll probably use this on the end. And then also use the clips on the unit itself to manage the tubes so that it looks organized. And then use the Velcro. So I think this is something that's nice that comes with the Creality is, just their expertise and their experience in cable management, and just aesthetically how to make their devices look very nice. This Velcro piece on here so that the cable management looks top-notch. Okay, so this is not a filter. It is a honeycomb build plate, which is supposed to be placed underneath whatever you're engraving or cutting. And it also too does have rubber feet to it. Now I'm noticing some slight damage to the honeycomb, so that's a call out, but I don't think it has any impact on the performance of the machine itself. And then you also have what I like to call the build plate for the laser engraver. The plastic covering, which I guess you can also put on top of the honeycomb as well. You're going to want to use this focus block to adjust the focus level of the laser depending on the material that you are engraving or cutting. So in this case, since we're probably going to use this 2 millimeter thick wood, plywood here, we're going to just use the highest setting. So what you do is you place the focus block on the surface that you are engraving. I'm going to raise it up and drop it down on the highest one, and then from there you're going to lock this into place so that we know that we have the right level for the laser itself. Now I do hope that we are just setting the level at the onset, and I'm hoping that there is auto leveling, but so far based on everything I've seen, I don't think this thing auto levels for the material that you're cutting. So we'll see. Right now it's a manual process for setting the focus level. Okay, once that's done, we've also got this extra cable, which I think is for the rotary roller accessory. So according to this, it is to connect to that machine. So I'm not exactly sure how this gets set up, but let's see what the instructions say. Okay, it says unplug the Y-axis motor cable. Now the instructions aren't too clear on how to install this. I'm not sure even what these extra screws are for. Okay, so I'm fairly certain that I'm pretty sure this holds the wood down. Okay, so that is there just to secure whatever you're running through the roller itself. So that is now secure. Okay, so if you were to use this rotary module, you would need to unplug the Y-axis cable and plug this into the cable instead. And then that would control the movement of your wood or whatever material you're using through the printer itself or through the laser engraver itself. And then you just need to make sure that this lines up, so you're probably going to need to raise the block a little bit so that this base is high enough to be aligned to the actual roller itself. Okay, so that's what that's for, but I don't think for the purpose of this video we're going to be using this. So I'll just put this aside for now. Okay, and then you're going to plug this into the power on the side over here, and of course it again fits in only one way. Okay, so now that the engraver is all set up, we want to make sure we plug this device using the USB-C connection to the PC so that we can use and detect it through light burn. So I did plug the USB-C plug into this and then plugged the USB-A portion into my PC. And I did have to provide an extension cable so it would reach the PC since it's across the room on the other side. Now, one thing I did notice, and it took me a little while to figure this out, is once I plugged the power in, I figured by turning the switch and then powering the system on, it would turn on. But as soon as I did that, nothing happened, as you can see. It took a little while to figure out, but eventually I finally figured out that the stop button is in a position where it keeps the laser engraver from turning on as a safety precaution. So enable to disable that safety precaution and enable the printer to turn on, you will need to press down and twist the stop button to unlock it. And then that should automatically allow the engraver to turn on. So there are multiple safety precautions built into this unit to make sure that you are safe when you're utilizing this laser engraver. So there is the safety key, there's the safety stop button, and then just the power on switch, and a number of other different precautions built in to protect you from any kind of danger happening while you are engraving anything. So as you can see, the boot up is pretty loud. It's definitely not quiet, but I think now it is all set up. Now the one thing I will say though that I wish this thing would have is an LCD screen, because right now you just got this tactile keypad right here that doesn't really have any kind of display on the status of your prints or the settings, except for the light green dot here that just lets you know that the device is on. Everything else you're going to need to control through either that touch panel or through light burn in the application itself. So it would be nice if there was a built-in LCD so you can control this thing independently. But this is Creality's first entry into the laser engraving market, so we'll see how well it works. Okay, so now that it is on, I'm going to do my setup. So because it's plugged into the USB port, I'm going to assume that it is being detected by the software now. So let's go over to the software and see to make sure that this engraver is detected. Okay, so now that we have the laser engraver connected to the PC, we are going to go and see if we can detect and add the tool to light burn here. So we're going to go over here and click devices. Let's go ahead and click find my laser, and then click next, and we'll let it do its thing. Okay, so I'm going to assume this one's it. We'll add the device. We will call this device the Creality Falcon 2. Okay, and from a size perspective, that looks pretty accurate. So it is 400 by 415. So we should be good there. So click next. The origin of the laser, so where is its home location? It's going to be at the front left. And then we'll click finish, and that should automatically set up our printer, and we'll click finish, and that should automatically set up our laser engraver, and we'll click OK. So now that it's set up, let's go ahead and, okay, it is homing. Okay, let's see what the frame is. Okay, so now that everything's set up, we will go ahead and start by testing this out by engraving on one of the pieces of plywood that was provided. So we will just place this on here, and then we're going to need to level the laser. So it is 1 to 2, so I think that's a 2mm piece of plywood. So we are going to just lift this up, put the leveling block on, then remove it so we know that we've got the right height. And then we're going to go to our PC and let's load up a sample file from the USB key that was included. So we will go to File, Open, and we'll go to the USB key itself, Sample Files. Let's engrave, and we'll just pull up the Creality mascot. Okay, and with that, let's go ahead and frame so we can see if we've got the plywood placed in the right location. And we obviously don't, so it might be actually a little larger than expected. So I might actually need a bigger piece of plywood. So I'm actually going to use, I don't think I have a piece of plywood. Let's frame that again. Let's see exactly where it is. And I know there is a way to do a grid, but I am not going to do that for the purpose of this video. Okay, so it does look like based on the framing, we do have enough space on that wood. So let's go ahead and start this. And I guess I'll put a camera here so we can do some stop motion here. And it's nice that this is an aluminum frame because the camera actually magnetizes to it as well. Okay, and we'll turn up the air on this just so we make sure we've got good airflow. Okay, and then from there, let's go ahead and start the job. So it's going to take about 17 minutes and 20 seconds apparently. Now one thing I found is that I did not have it set to the Creality, so I kept running into these errors. So do make sure you are using or have the right laser cutter selected when you are doing your prints, or you will run into errors. So again, cool glasses. And it is generating a lot of smoke. So again, make sure you are in a well-ventilated area. So I did order a box for this so I can print indoors, and I will filter it out the window. Right now I have the window open so the air can filter outwards. Now the workable area of this laser engraver is 400 by 415 millimeters, so it's pretty much in line with a lot of the other laser engravers available. The laser module on the unit itself is a 22-watt laser and is apparently made up of combining 4 individual 6-watt lasers, which also accounts for power transfer loss between all the lasers as their powers combine. So if you look at it, 6 times 4 equals 24. The missing 2 watts is probably accounting for the power loss when you're combining those 4 lasers. Now the Falcon 2 is fixed focus, so unfortunately it does not support autofocusing, which is probably an opportunity in future models. What that means is that you'll have to use the focus block to manually adjust for every variable job that you do. The laser module itself has 3 built-in safety features, which includes an air assist warning, which basically lets you know if you don't have any or enough airflow going through the laser nozzle itself. It's also got a fire sensor, which should recognize and identify flames or fire and automatically stop the job from continuing by shutting the machine down. The last is the dirty lens warning, which is a unique feature that warns you if the lens needs to be cleaned. The max speed of the laser engraver is 25,000 millimeters per minute, which you can see as it's currently working is pretty fast. So just like the previous laser engraver that I reviewed, the Falcon 2 does come with an air assist module that you can connect to the laser engraver to improve overall quality and keep your laser dust and smoke free. This air assist module has variable speeds. Now if you've got some recommendations of what the sweet spot is, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. Now overall, minus a couple of hiccups at the start of this job, it does seem to be going very well. So we'll check back once the job is complete to see what the outcome is. Okay, so now that this job is complete, there are 3 things that I learned from this review and just testing out this machine. 1, is to make sure that you've got the correct laser engraver selected in the software, or you're going to run into all kinds of errors. 2, make sure you turn on the air for when it's cutting, because as you can see, there is an error light for the lens itself, because I'm pretty sure when it did the cut that it dirtied up the lens, so I'm probably gonna have to clean it. So do make sure in the software that you do have the air turned on for cutting. Now when it comes to engraving, you don't necessarily have to have the air on, but you know, that's up to you. I'm probably gonna just leave it on for everything, engraving and cutting, but let me know in the comment section below if that's recommended. And then 3, that this build tray should go under the honeycomb tray. So that's something else that I learned. So I'm probably gonna have some scorch marks on this little silver tray itself, but no matter, these are replaceable, so not too bad. Okay, so as you can see, the job has been completed and we did engrave and cut out the Creality mascot. So it perfectly cut the object out of the test wood, and then we've also got a nice engraving of the Creality mascot. And I'm pretty sure the quality could have been better if I had turned on the air assist, but I think it turned out pretty well, and this thing is pretty fast. I do see some scorch marks in the plate, of course, and that's also because I should have put this on the bottom of it. But you know, there's another side to this that I can start using, so nothing, no big deal. And then I can just purchase a new one of these eventually as needed as well. Okay, so overall, what are my initial observations for this Falcon 2 laser engraver from Creality? Well, I think it works great, has some things for me to figure out. Now I do wish that there was an LCD screen so it would make engraving things without a PC a lot easier. For now, I'm gonna have to rely on doing everything on my PC so that I can do the engravings using this unit itself. Outside of that, I do love how everything is cable managed very well. The steel frame, steel aluminum frame is well built. I think it was a little more difficult to figure out, but overall I think, you know, if you have experience with laser engraving, that shouldn't be an issue. I do like the features that the laser engraver comes with, and overall I think this is a very well built machine and something that I will use regularly. Anyways, I hope you do enjoyed this video. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon to get notified when I post new content. If you have any comments on how I can better utilize this machine or any suggestions at all, please make sure you leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. Anyways, thanks for checking out this video. I'll see you next time.